Press, head coach Troy G. Ward.
Troy, start with your thoughts tonight. Was that the response you were looking for?
Yeah, I just the biggest thing we were happy with as a group of people was that, we didn't beat ourselves. Like I thought the last two times here at home, we kind of put ourselves in bad positions and how we managed the puck and how we competed. And tonight we played a 60-minute game.
Comments on Akeem Alou's 2-goal effort tonight, and how about Nick Tuzolino gets his first and stands as the winner for him?
Yeah, well, the first part, Akeem's a guy that's developing, and where this is about development here, and it's about making yourself a well-rounded player. And we talked before the game about, to be a well-rounded player, you got to play in all three zones, and you got to play a 200-foot game, and that you can't play in the National Hockey League if you can just play in the offensive zone and not the defensive zone. And one of the goals was a product of being good defensively and then basically outracing the other guys with his gifts. So I thought Akeem managed a good game. He's proven in this league with some other teams that he can score goals, and probably by his draft status as a second-round guy, he could score, and he's been able to do that through time. And the neat thing that maybe people don't understand, he's doing that as a third-line checking role. Like, he scored 9 goals as a checker, and that says a lot about his development right now, so we're real happy with him. As far as Tuz is concerned, it's great to utilize Utah. I think it makes the development process a better process when you go down to your farm team below us and pick some players out of there and get some good performances out of them. So we're real happy for the goal. And just happy with his overall play. Again, I thought he managed a better hockey game tonight. He kept himself inside the dots. He didn't get outside the dots where he gets in trouble a little bit. So he did a nice job.
Can you talk just a little bit about what Alou is accomplishing here, just in terms of finding a home and a fit, whereas maybe he wasn't able to find that in earlier stops in his pro career?
Yeah, I think, it's winter, so he's got some nice treads on his tires right now. He's not got bald tires sliding all over the world in this hockey world. He's been on a lot of teams in a short amount of time, and he's got some tread to his game right now. He's staying right here, and he's doing a nice job. He's managing a good hockey game. And I think he's developing as much off the ice as he is on the ice. Like, he's become a real good teammate in there. He's a reliable guy in the room. He continues to grow up, and as he's going through that process, sometimes we always look at the output out there on the rink as one of the main factors if you're going to have traction. But in life, you don't have traction until you become a good person. And he's becoming a good man. The foundation was there in the past, but it was not forefront. And I like where he's coming there, and I think that's what's allowed him to have a better game.
Irving looked very sharp today, probably the best I've seen him since his Vancouver win.
Yeah.
What can you say about sort of his progression over the last couple months and how he played today?
Well, he had a great response. I mean, pulled him yesterday morning there, and I went down to him after I pulled him. I gave him some time to stew on his own. I asked him how it went. He said, "Not very good." I said, "Thanks, I saw that." And he was smiling, and I said, "Just a tough day." He said, I couldn't get the puck, I couldn't catch it. And I said, "Oh, you'll be better, tomorrow. We'll come right back with you. You've got part of the game off now, and get yourself ready to go." One of the things that he goes through is just the trials and tribulations of going up and going down. The asset of it, the whole thing, is he gets to play more games to a certain extent. But the downside of that is just managing your life. When you travel with Calgary, you're in a charter. That's not the hardest life in the world. You go through your own security. When you travel with the Heat, you got to go through airports. So when he gets sent back from Anaheim or wherever he is all the time, it's taxing. And so I felt that, he felt he was a little off, and it's for the first time in his life he's have to manage it. And he comes home, and him and his wife are back together, and everything tries to fall into place. We forget those things in life. So as he settled back in here a little bit, I think his game is starting to come on. But he played, and I would echo your thoughts. That was as well of a game that he's played in a long time. So we were happy for him. And in the end of the day, however many games he plays here, if he gets 1 or 2 more starts in Calgary, whatever they decide to give him, but we do our job and he gets 2 wins in the National Hockey League and they make the playoffs, that's our job. That's our job, is to get the Calgary Flames in the playoffs. So we're well aware of that, and we'll balance his ice time as needed.
Coach, Another strong performance from the college line of Jessamine, Walter, and Estoclay. Those guys have produced 11 points in the past 2 games. What would you attribute that chemistry to?
Well, they have a good, you always put lines together in pairs, and I've always, it's kind of like as Kalanos left, Hughes kind of brought in that part. I always thought John Rowe was kind of the missing ingredient on that other line when those guys were going so well. This one, it's Adam. Like, Adam has a really good stick, and he has a good feel for the game, and he understands time and space really well. Hughes opening up a lot of space just because of his size, and then you let Ben kind of just sits back, and Ben's got a nice stick. So they complement each other really well. And then I think, the other thing is Adam's a rookie. I think the 2 vets in the line, honestly, have really started to push their game up, and they've managed better shift length, which for Ben and for Hugh is a huge thing, meaning they go as long as they need to, and if there's not something there, then they get off. And I liked how they've managed their ice time better. I think they've been fresher through 60 minutes of late than they have been in the last couple of weeks. So I think that's been the biggest thing, is they played at a higher energy level more consistently.
You didn't give up very many penalties today. Do you think that was one of the reasons why you got the win today?
I think it was a huge factor today. That was as good a game as we've managed, both in discipline and X's and O's in a long time, especially here at home. Like, we'd all have to say we haven't seen us manage that many games at home that way. Because of the discipline that we had, I thought it was an easy game for us to manage. Where it gets really tough for us is when we take the penalties we take, and then you're taking the Langers and these guys, and you're extending their shifts so long, like they're killing long time. And I just thought tonight we didn't take unnecessary penalties. It's one thing to take penalties. It's a part of the game. It's another thing to take unnecessary ones. And tonight I thought that was the biggest difference. We didn't put ourselves kind of in a back spot.
Western Conference seems to come to a complete circle this weekend for the hometown fans here in Abbotsford, where they see the Peoria Rivermen, a team they haven't seen yet. What can we expect from them this weekend?
Well, they've got nice players. They've got some nice players. We had 2 leads in their building about a week and a half ago. We ended up going into shootouts in both of those. They came back because they have some good offensive firepower. They have some good offensive players, similar to Houston. There's some good players. This Peoria team might have a little bit better snipers. So they manage a good game. They've made some changes in goal. I think they've changed enough where you've sent out Sterling and brought in O'Sullivan. You've sent out Bishop and you've brought in the kid that played at Duluth, Staylock. They've made some changes here over the last week in the clear day. So there'll be a little different team than we have, but they've got nice skill, and it'll be a tough physical. Like, ice will be at a premium. It'll be tough to get ice. It'll be a good series. They were good games down there. They've got a nice team. You'll like their team.
We're good. Coach, thank you.
Thank you.